was a small, like, water circle around my leg. I took a picture of it. I'll put pictures here. So this was the first thing that I had seen on Sunday. I told the management office about it. I said, hey, I think I have a leak. Would someone be able to go check it out? Because it was Sunday, the lady said no. Because it was Sunday, the lady said that they couldn't come out until tomorrow, Monday. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, as long as, somebody comes out. That night, I dislocate my shoulder, and I get a call from them, but I'm in the hospital, and I don't have my phone. So I get a missed call, but she left a message, and she basically said, hey, we got somebody, they're gonna come out and look at it tomorrow. I choked on my water. Anyways, she left a message saying they were gonna come on Monday. There are pickles in it. So, Monday comes. I don't hear anything back. And I'm like trying to get things settled. Because like I said, I need a lot of help. I'm wearing this sling. I can't do a lot of things. Sorry, there was a plane. So, I'm just getting things ready to leave because I'm not going to be here by myself. Nobody contacted me on Monday saying that they were going to come look at my house. So I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. And that's actually on me. Like, I definitely should have just followed up on Monday and said, like, hey, nobody came. Like, what's going on? But I didn't think it would turn the way that it did. So that is on me. However, she did say that somebody was going to come on Monday and nobody came. So it's on both of us. So I get back and then I see this and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? So I go back to the management office and I'm like, I have a lot of damage to my ceiling right now. I show her all the pictures and I ask, I'm like, place online and I find the leasing agent on Zillow and I found her number. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call and basically say, hey, we need to get into this apartment because we think there's a leak in here and we can't get in, but you know, you might be able to get in because you probably have the lockbox code, which she did. So she had to come and open the door, and before I had got there with my plumber, they were trying to claim that there was nothing there, there was no leak, or that they didn't see like the floor was wet or anything. And they come to my place downstairs, see the giant hole in my ceiling, they're like, oh, dang. And then I tell my plumber, I'm like, or I ask him, like, is my plumber allowed to look? And they're like, yeah. So the plumber goes, looks, and he finds the leak, and it's the dishwasher. The dishwasher was broken. So we found the issue, and I'm basically like, okay, what's next? Because now there's a giant hole in my ceiling. The leasing agent is like, it's not our responsibility. And then I'm like, well, it's definitely not my responsibility. It's their unit. But I think the leasing agent was saying like, it's not the leasing agent's responsibility. And I understand that. But I'm like, okay, so then how are we gonna, like, we need you to get in contact with the owner so that we can fix this. It was just a little annoying because, like, I had just gone to the ER. And then this happened, and I was like, come on. At the end of the day, we got it fixed. And I didn't owe anything, which was nice.